Hey folks, morning. um, keep forgetting I have this thing on my head. Uh, July 29th, 2015. It's time to talk about something I haven't really discussed much yet. The word assumptions. Um, what is it? Anyway, let's start with that. What's an assumption? Assumption is when you, in your mind, say this is this, so that must be that. Okay? That's an assumption. Now, when you go from here to actual, this is what something is, and you go over to here, you got to make sure you're not trying to make something you want to have, that you want to see, that you want to believe. Because you feel it should be that way, because you want it to be that way, because your friend said that, whatever. Your spirit guides tell you that. Yeah, they don't lie, do they? And that'll be changed. Okay, you'll get made to do that when you're out of a body and helping someone else have a life. You've been made to. You've been forced to. Okay, it was also the norm. That's why all this crazy stuff had to happen. Anyway, assumptions you really have to be careful with. When you have something and then you create an assumption from it, the first thing you've just done, okay, is to try and follow a process where it goes from one thing to the other. If this is not a strong straight line, and if it's far away, like a long line, forget it. Okay, you're building in your mind a way you want to see things. Okay, examples, good way to talk about things. Um, I actually had a family member talk to me recently. This has been going on with a lot of people, on and off. But when she was made to see something, feel something, and she was pushed by one of the younger, smaller Source family members on the other side, screwing things up, which that's all they can do. Stupid, almost all of them. And she, she's got a lot of Source energy in her. I'll just say that. But anyway. She sent me this video thing about how she said, "Well, Jay, what's if there's no God? What's this video about?" That's basically what she said, and I didn't even listen to the video. I didn't have to. When something is done, when you see something, when someone says something like, "Oh, there's a lot of love in the air." Look at all the, and I don't mean coming from people's hearts. I'm talking about there's this universal love spirit, and look, it created this bird that's so beautiful, and it sings so beautiful. Wrong. That was Gaia that made the body. The original first being, male and female. Of course, they're dead. Everything else over there has nothing to do with that. That's Gaia. So if you see something pretty on this planet, thank Gaia, not this other thing that you all want to believe in. And hey, I used to be there too. Okay, not kicking your butt, just telling you what's real. Okay. This one, look at the beautiful balance in nature. There must be some divine energy that's just making everything happen properly. There's the hawk grabbing the squirrel and taking the squirrel away so it can feed its babies. What about the squirrel and its babies? Okay, sorry, this whole thing is set up on abuse. If you don't open your mind just to see things as they are and be realistic about it, to be set to the side so you can see it, and then you just say, this is what happened, and then once you finish, it's like when you have a vision, when you go to meditate, when you go to do stuff, you see something, you take your conscious mind, set it aside, pull the little pins out so the gears turn free, just let it do whatever it wants, but just tune it out, and then just see what you see. Just like you're a camera recording something, and then you go back later and you look at it, and then you understand it, okay? So just because it's something that was nice happening, they make the assumption, oh, there's a loving God. Bull, okay? That's one. Number two, when you run into a situation when you run into a situation and you see something and it's nice, and then all of a sudden you feel this euphoric energy in you. Oh, there's a God. No, that's your spirit guide or angel. Of course, there's almost none of the first angels left, and the new angels that have put on a lot of you, they're not gonna do that. Period. Wrong. The spirit guides will put some energy into your back and try to give you a little bit of that euphoric feeling. So you're made to have a feeling. Now, you're not strong enough and able to see that. I understand. Can't help it. Okay, but you know what? If you keep an open mind and understand that that exists, if you have the chutzpah to actually see things for what they are, just to see things, record them, and then look at them later without emotional attachment, involvement, then you'll start coming up with the truth. You won't be making all these assumptions based on what? Something that was done to you, something you want to happen. I've always been taught when I was a child, there's this loving God, and I could see love, and feel it. Yeah, folks, get over that, okay? When Lily gets out, maybe April of 2016, who knows? Don't hold on to that month. She'll be out beforehand, but she's healing. And her coming out to make you happy, no, that ain't happening. She's coming out to do her job. That will make you happy, okay? Arrogance is spread wild everywhere, okay? When you think something's about you. And what that means, you think something should happen for you. So, it's all about you, this and this and that. I have people say that about me every once in a while. Hell, I don't care. Doesn't matter. I'm here to do a job, It's like, when people say that to me, it's kind of funny. I look at them. It's almost like someone going up to a janitor who's mopping a floor and saying, "You think you own this building?" That's how much sense it makes to me, okay? But that's okay, because I'm me. I'm living the experience. I know, I understand, and they don't. Love them anyway, okay? But it means nothing to me. When you see a vision, you have to have an open mind, or you're going to miss what it's really about. And then when you do that, you get the wrong message, and then you're blaming everything else for the bad message. No, the message was lost due to your desire to see a certain thing, or sometimes it's your own arrogance, okay? The thing is, we can all do something better than each other, but that does not mean we're any better than each other, because that's false. It no longer holds true. That's the old thinking, the old way. Okay, that's gone. As time goes on, as the years go on, as the centuries go on, what I tell you will ring perfectly true. Okay, this stuff, that's why I give you the date when I say something, want to put out a video. I want to just go ahead and put it in there. Because he thinks he's all this important, and it's about, no, people, it's important for you to have the information. It's important for you to be able to put it in chronological order. As I've gone through things, I've gotten stronger and stronger, okay? And then also I'm seeing more. I become more aware, more awake. People, everything in a body goes through that. Your body is made so that you can't see things. That was done on purpose to you by the original first being to make sure they could help keep you in line. All of those of you who are, what they call readers or psychics, I call you all metaphysical practitioners using your abilities. You're talking with your spirit guides really well, and then all of a sudden, you get, and I've heard from thousands, okay, about how you're literally told something, and then the next thing you know, it went wrong. You got the message. You know you got the message, okay? You're not new at this. You've been doing it a long time. You got the message, and it was wrong. And the first thing you want to do, because of the love in your heart, because you want to feel there's something out there helping you, which there's been something to help you and something to screw you, okay? And that's gone. Anyway, but because of that, then you want to think it's your fault. Well, no, it wasn't. You got the message right. You spoke the message you were given. You were just given a bad message. You were lied to, okay? Now, we make mistakes, okay? Don't get me wrong, we make mistakes. But now, when you're actually doing a reading for someone or consultation, that's a moment that's very special, very important. I don't like the word sacred, but it's towards that category. that needs to be accurate. That when that happens, you're always talking with your spirit guides. You're connected. So when you get something wrong, well over 90% of the time, over 90% of the time, you're giving bad information. So number one, do not think poorly of yourself. Number two, understand when you know you got something right, and when you know you heard the message clearly and it came out wrong, it was either because you were trying to divine the future, which is always changing, and it's going to be volatile for a long time now. So don't even go there. Just advice. But also, you get lied to. The original first ones always set it up to where you could make money, you could you could help people, you'd enjoy it, but then they got to screw with you every once in a while. Two reasons. Number one, they want to keep you under their thumb. Okay. They want to make sure that they keep you a little depressed. Plus, abusing you, that's part of the game anyway, okay? Or it was. Now, at the same time, they don't want you to be totally aware of what's on the other side. They never have. Because if you did, you would not be happy with it. While you're in a human body and you connected to this human heart with all this love, and then all of a sudden you see what's really going on, nah, that wouldn't do too good with you. And that would also make you want to get away from the movement. And they couldn't do that. They had to control the movement, and they had to control you within it. Okay. Things are a little nuts, but they will calm down. They will get better. So back to assumptions. Best advice I can give you, the most accurate, honest, and the only advice I'll ever give you, to be honest, but the only accurate, honest information I can feed you is to stay away from it as much as possible. That'll keep it from happening. And just let things continue. And as they do, you start to have a little faith in something because it keeps happening. Okay? But when you're made to feel good, and then all of a sudden you say, "Oh, there's a God, there's the angels," and no. Sorry, you're being screwed over. You want to do that, whatever. That's your gig. It's no problem. I'm trying to help. Okay, if I don't tell you about that problem and there being an issue with it, then I'm not doing my job. And when something comes up enough to where this physical mind is aware of something, I say something about it. Okay, there's change coming. It's going to be kind of hard. Okay, when I get out of this body, it's coming down hard over there. Okay, and it's coming down hard over here too. Wait and see when I leave how many animals I take with me. Just like the Sega antelope that just died. 120,000? I think I've said 220, but I think it's 120, 150,000 of them. But they'd be in the field, they just boom, died. You can see them all laying there. It's going to be a lot of stuff that are like that, cataclysmic, so to speak. Animals are leaving. And there's a lot of human souls running around in animals too. It's getting bigger and bigger. Anyway, love y'all. Before you assume something, ask yourself, why do I want to assume that? Why am I assuming that? And if you just flow that way, you feel, yay, yeah, well, okay. Chances are you're leading yourself or being led down a path that might not be accurate. You have to think and see, feel with your heart, and use your gut intuition to get a gut feeling about everything you do. The more you do that, the more you're using your abilities, the stronger you're going to be at doing everything, and also the more real truth you have for yourself, not something you make for yourself. Because all that stuff is about to be brought to a halt 3 months from now. Wait and see how that process does for you, okay? Love y'all, man. Take care and have a good one. Remember, just let things be what they are. Just be you. Relax. Take your emotions out of it. And then use the big three things you have. Your brain with all its abilities, your heart with the feeling, and your gut intuition through your solar plexus. Have a good one.